Hello, I'm Natasha Foreman. Welcome to the Breaking Bread with Natasha podcast, where I share daily devotionals from my namesake blog, so you can listen on demand to spiritual messages inspired by God's love, as expressed in the Bible and other religious texts. You can read along at breakingbreadwithnatasha.com or sit back and take in the word. Either way, I'm blessed to have you break bread with me. Without further delay, let's begin today's message. Hello, Breaking Bread family. This is Natasha Foreman. Well, if you paid attention to the title of today's message, which is my birthday post number 1, let's talk about freedom, well, then you know it's my birthday. Yay! Happy birthday to me and everyone else celebrating their debut day. The day I entered this world, I was screaming and crying, wondering where I was and who these strange beings were staring at me. And there have been many days since then when I found myself screaming and crying and wondering who these strange beings are around me. This world sure is chaotic, isn't it? Oh. Thank goodness we have God and Jesus by our side. I've been writing my Breaking Bread with Natasha blog since 2009, and it's been an amazing journey so far, and I embrace what God has in store for me and all the ways He plans to use me to glorify Him. And through these now daily messages, I see my growth, growing pains and struggles, and I celebrate where I am and all that God has brought me through over and around. Maybe in a reading and hearing this message, something will resonate in you and you will pay it forward by sharing it with others. Today, I'm going to bring you 2 separate messages. I don't want to overwhelm you with one really long message, so let's break them up and then see the harmony between them and how we can apply their words, sentiments, and meanings to our lives. So after this message, please join me for what we'll call part 2. Will that work for you? Great. I do want to let you know that what I'm about to share with you is both deep and heavy. If we want to see and be the positive change in the world, we've got to do some heavy lifting and not just focus on the easy loads. So in this message too, we will focus on the reward. So this message, we're going to do some heavy lifting, and then the next one we'll focus on the rewards of that. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. Then let's begin. Message 1. We're going to focus on the book of Galatians, chapter 5, line 1, and the translation that I'm reading says, Christ has set us free for freedom. Therefore, stand firm and don't submit to the bondage of slavery again. As I mentioned earlier, today is my birthday. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. I have a lot to be grateful for, most importantly, my life and the fact that God has gifted it to me one more day. And without Him, there would be no me, and I never, ever take that for granted. How do you see your life? How do you see the gift of each day given to you? You did nothing to deserve it, and yet you are free to create this day as you choose. Do you feel free or enslaved? In many ways, I'm not free. And I know it. I feel it, and at times I feel like I'm being consumed by the presence that I created through my fears, worry, shame, guilt, and feelings of insecurity and lack. I can tell by the words I use to express myself and my circumstances, and those are the shackles I placed upon myself, whether I want to admit it or not. Those are also the shackles I have the power to remove from myself. I just have to choose. I also have to choose not to allow someone else's negative opinion of me to be the same opinion I choose to speak over myself. The moment I take their words, make them mine, and give them power by speaking them into existence as my own, I enslave myself to that person and to the presence I help to create. The same is true for you. That is our mental and emotional bondage. We are not what people call us. We are what our God calls us. The great and powerful I am does not speak these words about Himself, and He does not speak them over us. So neither should we. We are of him, made by him, so we should never devalue and disrespect ourselves by seeing and speaking about ourselves as anything less than what he is, and by connection, we are. And I don't like losing, so I'm praying for the strength and courage to fight and to do so with skill, precision, tenacity, passion, focus, and patience. And my self-confidence might waver, but my confidence in him never will. So I will choose to lean on him. And this battle is for my soul. Your battle is for your soul. And think about that for a moment. Every single day, the enemy plots his attack against us to turn us away from God's light, to destroy our hope, and convince us to choose the lies over God. And we are fighting for our souls. We are fighting for our freedom. What choice will you make today? So I have some questions for you today on my birthday. Let me ask you some questions. 1, do you want to be free? 2, why do you want to be free? 3, in what areas of your life are you currently struggling and finding yourself in bondage? 4, can you visualize your life as a free person? 5, can you tell when you're under attack? 6, what do you do when you feel like you're under attack? And 7, how would you like to respond to and recover from attacks? You know, the Apostle Paul wrote a letter to a group of Christians in the region of Galatia, and he met them when he traveled through their area and preached the message of Jesus to them. And if you read Galatians 1, line 11, chapter 1, line 11, you'll see that. The 2 sentences that we're focusing on today in Galatians 5, line 1, is from one of his letters. He was reminding the people of the times their ancestors were enslaved and exiled, and he was also speaking of their present circumstances where they could not self-govern because they were under Roman rule. And for many of us, we don't know physical enslavement, where another human rules over us, determining when we can sleep, eat, bathe, where we can go, or how we can speak, pray, dress, and interact with loved ones or strangers. But there are thousands, if not millions, of children, women, and men who are currently enslaved in this world, not as we heard of from our distant past in the Americas and Europe and elsewhere, but through well-orchestrated and well-funded systems that are channeled continent to continent for the benefit of those who think they learned from the so-called mistakes and blunders that slaveholders in the past made. The ones of today believe that they can succeed where those of the past failed. The slaveholders of today believe they have the right to do to God's children what even he would never do. And they believe that they can get away with it, but they won't. God's justice is exact, unflawed, and non-negotiable. Today's slaveholders aren't doing public auctions outdoors on the docks, parading their so-called cargo as though they were prize cattle for everyone in town to see. They aren't lugging huge ships. Nope. They're using private and commercial airlines and utilizing ground transportation by various means and methods. Today, they're using technology, videos, and photos, hosting private, virtual, and in-person auctions in the cover of darkness. And you can't see their plantations today. They keep their enslaved well hidden. And we have to pray for the enslaved that they don't let go of their truth, their identity as God's children, and the power that they possess within. We must pray that they hold on to hope, that they will be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually free, and that they will be made whole, healthy, and complete in God. We must also pray for their captors. And I know that stings to hear me say this. Yes. We have to pray that the captors' hearts and minds will be changed and turned to God in repentance and atonement. We should want them to destroy what they created. They will only do so when their hearts and minds have changed. Don't doubt God's power and presence. Don't you dare think he is passive and just letting things play out. Trust in him. Lean on him. Stand in agreement with him. You are all that you are because of him. Use your power to do what you can and leave the rest to him. I mean, wouldn't you agree that he's more than capable? Yeah. Family, please join me in a much needed moment of prayer. Okay. Father, thank you for this day, a new day of experiences, lessons, and blessings. I don't want to be shackled to fear, doubt, pride, shame, arrogance, or ignorance, mine or someone else's. I don't want to get caught in the tangled web of Satan. I don't want to be consumed by limitations. I want to be free, Father. Show me how to do my part each day so that I can break these binds I've placed upon myself and live as you intend. Father, I also come to you to help me focus my thoughts and energy on your children who are physically enslaved by men and women who believe they are entitled to control over the lives of other men, women, and children. They feel they have the right to buy, sell, and trade humans as cargo. They think they are gods to be revered. But you, Father, are omnipotent, supreme. You rule over all, mortal and immortal, and all that breathes. Help me focus my thoughts of love, strength, courage, hope, and peace. And help me direct that energy to your enslaved children. Help me pour out so much of me that they feel you and cling to you in faith and not in fear. I pray for their freedom from every tangible and intangible form of bondage placed upon them. I trust your plans and your ways, Father. I am of you, but we are not equal, so I leave in your capable hands all that is yours to command. That means I also leave to you the justice you deem fitting of each person who enslaves or benefits from the enslavement of people. I pray that their hearts and minds be changed and that they turn to you rather than continue to choose a path of destruction. Help me, Father, to do my part in healing and righting of wrongs. I pray to you with the greatest pride and determination I can pull from deep within to say to you, I am yours to use as you choose, to do what is for the greatest good of all. Amen. Wow. I know that today's message is heavy, and you're probably wondering why I would go so heavy on my birthday. Well, what's the difference between one day or another? What we're called to do, we should do. So I do today what I try to do every day. Let God use me, speak through me, tell me the words he wants me to write and say, and then obey him. I hope you will do the same, and I hope you will join me for my next message so we can focus on blessings and prosperity and enjoying the fruits of our labor. And with that, family, I pray that you're blessed, that you see and embrace your blessings, and that you are a blessing to others. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Hi, family. If what I shared in today's message resonates with you, I hope you will share it with others. Feel free to leave positive comments and reviews on my site, breakingbreadwithnatasha.com, and through whichever podcast provider that you're listening to me. Each day, I work to be a better steward and servant. I hope you will join me in sharing God's love and truth and rebuking the enemy's lies. Now go out there and make today an awesome day. I love you all.